Yo, welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It is Wednesday the 28th of January 2015, and I'm your host, Ant-Man. Oh, this? Oh, just repping my team right now. Just like, yeah, sometimes I watch football. Hey, I'm an American, right? Whether it's rigged or not, sometimes it's just fun to watch. I'm not like super into it where I cry like that one guy. Or even worse, I'm not like the guy that goes on a riot after my team wins. But anyways, welcome to my show. This is an unusual report. I don't usually, report on stuff like this. I just kind of saw the title, so I said I'd save this and maybe I'll come back to it later. So let's see what this is all about. It's about football. Football matters, perhaps more than ever. So this is from ClashDaily.com. ClashDaily.com, written by R.G. Yoho. Quite a name. On January 26, 2015, and I've been holding this one for a special occasion, which happens to be right now. So let's get into this and try to read it as fast as we can. Perhaps there is nothing more uniquely American than the game of football. Football started here, it developed and succeeded here, and there is no other country in the world that does it any better. The popularity and profitability of the sport is unquestioned. Try to go to Vegas and see how lucrative it is to bet on football. There's billions involved in this stuff, man. It's really amazing. Anyways, for many years now, the Super Bowl is the most highly watched television program of the year. The newly instituted NCAA college football playoffs enjoyed a nearly unparalleled ratings success, which was super cool. I like NCAA too. Hey, man, I can't help it. Once more displaying America's great love and appreciation for this game. Just because the yuppies overuse and abuse their liberty to watch football all day doesn't mean that they can kill it for all of us. It's still a fun sport to watch, and just like any other sport, it's entertainment and it's all in good fun. Not to be taken too seriously, but of course it's something to distract us for a little bit. Nothing more, nothing less, my friend. It's awesome to see what the human body is capable of doing as well. It's an art form, it's a sport. I could see why so many people love sports, man. It's just a normal thing of what we do. Competitive nature of what we are. Anyways, but despite these things, football in America is under attack. Let's see. And this hasn't been a particularly good year for the NFL game. We've all seen the headlines and videos in regard to Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice and his then fiancée Janae and their case of domestic battery in a hotel elevator. We also learned about the child abuse charges involving another NFL running back, Adrian Peterson. Perhaps most of all, it has been the poor handling of these issues that have placed the job of Ray Goodell, the NFL commissioner, in serious jeopardy. And the problems for the game continue. The latest allegations of underinflated footballs in the Patriots versus Colts playoff game has only added to the problems for the league. And unlike the other difficulties faced by the NFL this year, these allegations aren't only an embarrassment to the league. I guess they also present a challenge to the integrity of the game. Perhaps, what's funny is that MMA is not legalized in New York because of one commissioner, because of one corrupt politician. And I'm not calling him a corrupt politician just because that's my opinion. He is on record a corrupt politician. He actually just went to jail. And so that actually lifts the ban, and now it's easier to get that regulated in the state of New York now. But the guy that is in New York labeled all MMA fighters as rapists. I don't know why someone would go on ahead to say something like that, because when I took martial arts for the first time, I learned that it's about virtue. They actually teach you virtuous things in martial arts. It's not just all about the flashy stuff you see on, in the action. There's actually a lot of stuff that goes into, cultivating that warrior spirit, man. And that's the virtue that goes along with discipline, with perseverance, with respect, all of those things that seem to be extinct nowadays, you probably have a better chance of running into a dinosaur than running into a person with respect these days, man. It really is a rare thing to see. People nowadays don't believe that the liberal arts benefit you in this institutionalized society. So that's why we have so much immorality now these days, is because we've left behind the old way of America, the original way it intended to be. But anyways, that went way off topic right there real quick. You can see I have a zeal for my country. Perhaps that is why I was so greatly disturbed to see a growing number of NFL veterans join in the chorus of uninformed accusations, attacking Tom Brady, the New England Patriots starting quarterback, who is without question one of the game's greatest players. Come on, man. Most of it just smacked of jealousy. Whether or not you like Brady and the Patriots, because you're haters if you don't, it's quite likely that their thorough smackdown of the Colts had very little with the condition of the footballs and much more to do with the skills and conditioning of Tom Brady in these big games. Like all of the really great clutch players in the history of sport, the guy just knows how to elevate his performance when it counts the most. Nobody knows for sure what happened to these footballs, but I am confident the incident is under investigation. I also have no doubt the NFL is smart enough to make sure this shameful incident is never repeated. Unfortunately, the situation only gives more ammunition to those who have the game of football in their crosshairs. And shame on those ex-NFL players who did their part in aiding the cause of the game's most vocal opponents. A number of years ago, there was a study released which claimed that there was a significant increase in domestic violence cases occurring against women during Super Bowl week. Like so many other things brought to us by the media today, the report turned out to be nothing more than Super Bowl. It was just the latest incident of someone trying to destroy a game they see as too closely defined with rugged masculinity. Anything that promotes being a man, the left, the mentally ill liberals and progressives try to attack anything that promotes masculinity. If you like MMA, hey, they're going to demonize MMA. They're going to say mixed martial arts is for barbaric people who don't have any, that are stupid and rapists. They're gonna lie because they want stupid people that listen to the news to realize and to believe everything they say. Because in reality, that is what actually happens. The news says something's true, and if the news says it, then, and you know what I mean, then it has to be true. And if they don't say something, then it can't be true. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how they control the mass opinion and talking points and all of the things that go on today, is because whatever the media says is, you know, the media's God. They are benevolent. You know, they're the good guys watching out for us, so you got to believe them. But the fact of the matter is that it's very suspicious to me that they make a big deal out of a stupid conspiracy theory about freaking footballs. Are you serious? There are real issues going on in this country, and the news has nothing better to do than talk about deflated balls. If we wanted to talk about deflated balls, we could go ahead and talk about Congress and how the Republican Party is failing to represent the American people. Yeah, I did go there just now. It's kind of vulgar, but hey, man, it's kind of true. You know, in much the same way that a number of liberal American haters are currently trying to destroy the image of the late American sniper Chris Kyle, it's so mentally ill that there are people in this country that try to talk badly about a person who fights for your liberty. This has nothing to do with foreign policy right now. This has to do with somebody serving in the armed forces and doing heroic things. Now, if we didn't have people like Chris Kyle, we would have to go out and do that ourselves. So thank God that there are people like Chris Kyle who are skilled at sniping people that are our enemies. Yes, liberals, you have enemies. You can't just hold hands and sing Kumbaya and all the problems of the world get pretty much solved. No, it doesn't work like that, liberals. We have snipers and military for a reason. Sorry, so if you just thought everything was My Little Pony, then I'm sorry that you got disappointed. There is an element in this country seeking to eliminate these qualities in men and the game of football along with them. America needs football. Through its history, the sport has been a great instructor in the game of life. And the lesson to be learned from these games on the gridiron often stay with the young men who played them forever. Football has so much in common with the game of life. It has so much in common. Football teaches us the importance of teamwork and the need for each player to adequately fill his individual role in that mission. Football, like life, reminds us that somebody always wins and somebody always loses. It teaches discipline. It shows us that those who often come out on top are always forced to overcome some sort of adversity. And it often illustrates that the best trained and hardest working teams are often the ones that ultimately go on to victory. But sometimes, just sometimes, football can also teach us that the ball is carried into the end zone, or the game-saving tackle is made just short of the goal line, just because the less talented guy wants it a little bit more than his opponent. Perhaps that is a lesson we all need to learn. Another thing we get from the game is that it teaches children to dream. As you watch little children, these children play the game in their backyards and sandlots, they can be certain that each one of them is dreaming of one day being the star player in the Super Bowl. American children daring to dream, that is always a good thing. It was a dream that discovered our country. Dreams forged our way across the rugged continent. They built a great nation. They even lifted us to the moon and back again. Dreams, mental and physical toughness, diligence, preparation, discipline, teamwork, overcoming adversity. These are qualities which are critical to the game of football, and these are also the qualities that made America great and are crucial to our ultimate survival. America needs football now more than ever, and you need to stop listening to liberals and progressives and anybody on a liberal, MSM network, because they're trying to sell you you know what I mean, like a really feminized type of masculinity. And what I mean by that is that being a man nowadays is really just being a smart, you know what, saying things that are factual, out of place with bad timing, just trying to be this pump. I don't even know how to really describe it. It's not manliness at all. The Romans, they gave us the word virtue. And where we get the word virtue, we get it from a word called virtus. It comes from the Romans used to use this word a lot. And the word virtus was, the definition of that word is manly. So the Romans looked at virtue as a manly quality. You know what I mean? Even though the Romans were well versed in war, they were great warriors and this and that, they still understand the need and the importance of knowledge and philosophy. But anyways, Americans, that's a good lesson for you guys to learn, man. If this did not occur to you, sports, especially sports like football, teach young men that they're men and that they're going to get a couple of scraped knees and they're going to learn how to get up and take it and walk and march on. It's a good thing to know, man. It's a good thing. Discipline is a great thing. God bless.